And as well.
And if that hermit isn't there, we're coming back for you. Can we talk? I want to thank you for talking some sense into me back there with Cheney. It has been a long time since I gave in to my violent enthusiasm. Oh, exactly as you'd imagine. Can't say I enjoyed the stint. It did provide me with plenty of time to think. The way I see it, the universe was snapping me back to where I needed to be. You stray too far from the course of your destiny, the world will try to correct for it. You're right. I owe you an apology. I've been so obsessed for so long, I couldn't see anything else. You offered me a place on your crew, friendship, and I used you to get to Cheney. And even then, you saved me from myself. I don't know if I could live with myself had I gone through with it. You owe me nothing, I know, but I'm begging your forgiveness. Thank you. I promise I'll be nothing but truthful from this point forward.
You'd think folks were pissing in the alleyways as bad as it stinks.
Oh, they are.
So that puddle I stepped in? That wasn't beer.
Hey, Dad. Knock, knock.
Go away, White.
That's not how the game works. I say, knock, knock, like I'm on the outside of a door. And you say,
I swear to the architect, I will punch your lamps out.
oh, having a rough day?
I lost a shipment out for delivery. Barely made it out. Marauders got Keeley.
Ooh, Catherine is gonna flay the skin from your fingers.
I know.
Ma'am, please, I need your help. I can pay. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak. Oh, I just knew you were a good person. Agnes, I said, this is the woman to save your little Tucky. And I was right. He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy? Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouth. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Well, hello, and welcome to the home of the Iconoclasts. I'm Rose. Please take a pamphlet. In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham, his philosophist truths, and the Iconoclast way. He wrote it himself, you know. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting we're out of pamphlets. Gosh, blast it. Why, we're the only free people in Halcyon. No corporations, no shackles, no problems. I know, it's quite revolutionary. We're a community here. No jobs, no shifts, just people who help each other. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep. That's a nice way to think about it. Graham would be our father. I suppose Zora might make a good mother if the two of them could stop arguing. You can think of those two as our leaders, but they're more like examples. We all ought to be more like them. Why, he's our founder. Graham taught us about philosophism. Through him, we came to the eternal truth. I'm glad you're asking, by the way. I hope you'll consider staying. She's been with us since the beginning. I think she was our sawbones back then, but now she's more like our commander. She goes and finds people in the wilderness and gets them to come here. And she keeps us from being chewed on and whatnot. She's liable to take your head off if you screw up, but then she'll sew it back on for you. Graham's place is in the large building straight back. Zora's sometimes there talking with him, but usually she's in the triage clinic next door. Oh, Graham settled here a long time ago. Shoot, I wish I had a pamphlet to give you. It's all in there. I wasn't around back then, but they say a lot of the old MSI corporate folks died here. He calls it a spiritual metaphor, something about rising from the ashes. The new boy! Yes, he's quite clever. He took to our teachings very quickly. Last I saw him, he was headed into one of the buildings up the hill.
Damned philosophists.
Everybody here looks wore out. Is it just me?
This armor itches something awful. nothing useful in this whole lot. I don't have time for this.
May the eternal truth guide you.
Welcome to the Emporium. I'm Bronson. It ain't really a store. Think of me more like a quartermaster, and a chef, and a handyman, and whatever else we need. Cooking's my true passion. You need a Raptidon to taste good? Bring it here, and I'll work a miracle or two. We gotta eat. Eating means hunting. Hunting means armaments. We used to let people take what they will, but then some idiot shot some other idiot over cards. So Zora set up a system. You fuck up, you don't get to buy gear. You play nice, you do. Yeah, plenty. If you're the type to fix a thing or two, I've got a couple reports I need to follow up on. The pipes up on Milton's house burst. Someone needs to shut them off. Then there are the cables outside the bar. A sprat chewed through them, and now they're spitting lightning. Then there's the old guardhouse, outside town on the way to the old Bayside Terrace. Someone needs to reset the comms breaker there. I ought to tell you, most of these systems are routed through one of our terminals. You might be able to handle some of them remotely if you know your way around a computer. We sent Milton out to check on the comms tower a while ago. Ain't heard back. I'd wager he got 8. Up the hill. It's right on the cliff's edge. Hope Zora's gonna be up next.
Seems like a nice little town. Except for all the night critters.
Ain't seen you before. You from one of the outer steads or what? You poor some bitch. I hear tell the dust storms get even worse out there. Welcome to the heart of Iconoclast country, sister. In charge? Huh. We're iconoclasts. Every soul a sovereign power. We do for each other on account of it needing to be done, not because some fancy pants manager said to. Now you want to rephrase that question, maybe ask who's respected hereabouts, I can give you a sensible answer. Every soul here knows to keep a weather eye out. Everyone's lost somebody to the wildlife. That didn't stop Miss Zora from picking a few souls and imposing a schedule. Be here then, leave there later. Downright in Icon. Well, it ain't what we do. Take that on top of what happened on the northern expedition. She and Graham are exchanging harsher words than usual. When the monarchists wanted to settle down and play nice with the board, Graham was the one that took a stand. He's the reason we're here, breathing free air. Zora's our best sawbones. Nearly every soul here owes her their life. She's got funny ways, but they work. Well, sure. It's on account of how we all work. No iconoclast makes another do as they say just because. You gotta convince them. The Graham and Zora argue all the time just says the process is working. Vigorous intellectual debate. You see? Welcome to Monarch. The animals think you're tasty, the fungus thinks your lungs are a great place to plant spores. That ain't enough. Look at the sky. Olympus yanks this moon about like a drunk dancer. Storms to curl your hair and quakes to rattle your brain pan.
Alls I'm saying is it ain't worth it. It's gonna taste like sulfur all the same.
Nuh-uh. Taro's got that sweet blood.
So? You gotta boil it or you'll get sick. Then all that sweetness takes the air anyhow.
Nah, don't boil it. We're gonna get sick all the same. Might as well enjoy it.
Don't boil. Do you want the runs?
Better than tasting sulfur and dirt every damn day.
No one saw me trip over that, right?
Move along.
It ain't right. How many good folk we gonna lose to our missions?
That's just the way of it. We gotta earn our keep out here.
That don't mean we ought to be following her into the jaws of a mantiqueen.
You'd rather sit on your thumbs and starve?
No. All I'm saying is she gotta be more careful throwing away lives like that.
Hey.
Carry on. Hey.
Mantiqueen.
Yeah, we felled it, mind. But we lost 2 runners and 5 gun hands.
A total failure, then. So much for the ruins.
And hell only knows where the Van Oys are. They never showed.
I'm sure they're... let's talk later. It seems we have company. A stranger comes to our home. If you're looking for a path to walk, you've found one. If you're looking for a teacher, I am one. Welcome to the iconoclasts. Ah, yes. The first step to accepting the truths of philosophism is to open your heart to its wisdom. I've found the written word to be quite effective in helping people do that. But alas, the eternal truth hasn't been generous with the paper and ink. Now, why have you come? Awakening is available to all whose minds are ready to accept it. What would you like to know?
I would like to know what you think Bakonu meant when he wrote, "Your work is to discover the truth, and then with all your heart give yourself to it."
Ah, how refreshing to have a scholar among us. Bakonu's text simply refers to our entire purpose, assisting the universe in realizing its own truth. Let it guide us as it will.
It refers to giving oneself over to the plan. It is not some paean to an invisible creator in the sky.
Were there a truth to the grand plan in the first place, I and Bakonu might agree. But what we see as divine purpose is just one facet of the universe figuring itself out. To quote, "As a child looking at the leg of an elephant, unable to view it whole, we mistake the tiny scope of our understanding as the unfathomably large purpose of the universe."
You're not completely full of shit, I'll give you that. Even if you do twist things beyond recognition to suit your own beliefs.
Were my teachings beyond recognition, I dare say I wouldn't have a small army of followers who understand and believe.
I owe you an apology. I expected you to be a complete idiot. I'd say you're actually more in the 25% idiocy range.
Likewise. Now, I'm sorry. What was it you were asking? Ah, the eternal. We are all part of the consciousness of the cosmos. Each of us plays a tiny role in the universe's continual journey toward understanding itself. You and I, and the rats and the mantis swarms. Divinity is in us all, and the eternal is that divinity. Everyone, regardless of ability to believe, is another facet of the universe contemplating its own existence.
Ability to believe? I think you mean inability to tell fantasy from truth, which rules out any knowledgeable scientician.
Let us be clear. Neither of us can lay claim to being knowledgeable on this topic. It is a matter of belief. It is not as if OSI has gone and proven anything. Regardless, what were you saying? The point of no return. When your mind fully opens to the eternal truth. Every philosophist experiences it along the path to enlightenment. For many, it is the first brush with the cold of death, when they realize that all of their lives have boiled down into the single truth of that moment. Mine was witnessing my friend and colleague transform into the very evil we sought to combat. Now he runs MSI just like the overlords before him. I suppose that's one way to look at it. Another is that misfortune often brings opportunity. I found my path through the tragedies of my past. Not in the sense of a single entity, fashioning the universe as a whittler fashions a flute. The universe came into being over time, organically, naturally, and without purpose. In that sense, I suppose you could say that, in the interest of finding its purpose, the universe itself created all living things.
The universe doesn't need to find its purpose. It is a mathematically perfect equation that gives mankind purpose.
That we'd consider ourselves in any way capable of understanding the universe, much less an equation that drives it, is nothing but hubris. All right. The iconoclasts are free folk. We live under our rules, motivated by our own beliefs, all petals on the same flower of enlightenment. Meanwhile, the board strangles the will of its workers. It is the penultimate exercise of a poisoned society where people are enslaved by a corporate ladder. We seek to replace their way of life with ours. Philosophism is the key to unlocking their shackles. This is not anarchy. Society requires structure, Captain. It is just that the board's structure is killing the colony. Ours will not. Why have you come? All right. Why have you come? A great many things, in fact.
We could always use a hand rounding up supplies.
Or... Now here's an idea. There's an old printing press I've been trying to get up and running.
Yes.
We will make do, as we always have. Spreading the word of our movement is of paramount importance. Will you aid us in our cause? Wonderful. I requisitioned replacement rollers for it some time ago. Huxley should have delivered them yesterday. Speaking of which, where is Huxley?
You bought rollers? You haven't even cleared the wraps out yet. What are you doing wasting bits on... Forget it. Huxley's still recovering. She won't be up for a run for a while yet.
It seems we're out a runner. If you intend to help our cause, I'll ask you to meet our MSI supplier in her stead.
So you're her mysterious savior. She sings your praises.
That girl and her songs, so eager to learn, so bright-eyed, so tone-deaf. One of our sympathizers, a woman named Carlotta, periodically buys goods on our behalf from Stellar Bay's store. Stellar Bay has caught on, but they remain friendly, though the goods now come at a considerable markup. She meets us in the ruins of Bayside Terrace. From our compound, follow the road north. Wonderful. While you're at it, I wonder if Carlotta still has those high-capacity cartridges? Grab a few, will you? There should be some funds left over from the last shipment. We can use them to copy and modify radio serials. Yes, not just magazines, but their precious dramas.
Unbelievable. I hope I don't have to tell you this, but if there is extra money, would you mind buying, I don't know, food and medicine? Graham, if you need me, I'll be in triage.
I don't have time for this.
Get a whiff of that sweet sulfur air.
As you were.
Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. What do I call you, stranger? Welcome to Amber Heights, Captain. Call me Tucker. You here to join the Iconoclasts? Help us free this world? I am not a little boy. Haven't been one for decades, no matter what my mama wishes. I take it she's still looking for me? Had hoped she'd accept my decision. According to her, stepping foot outside of the house in broad daylight is too dangerous. My entire life, she crammed a fear of danger down my throat. Don't go play with friends. Mantisaurs will tear your arms off. Don't leave the city. Raptidons will spit acid on your face. Marauders can violate you. You'd fall in a sulfur pool. I stuck around way too long.
ruled by her fears. I'm 42 years old.